birds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise.
When I was 12 years old, in 2002, I was diagnosed with cancer in my leg. I found this bump in my leg. We first thought it was an allergic reaction, like a bumblebee bite or something like that. So I decided to go to the hospital after about a month in March, and they diagnosed it as a hematoma. They said, oh no, it's fine, it'll go away, don't worry about it. But then a month later, it kept growing. So I went back in, and they decided to do a biopsy, and they found that it was a tumor.
As a parent of a child with cancer, there's this desire to deal with this, to take over and fight the disease yourself. And we figured out very quickly that it is something that she actually has to do. It's her journey, it's her fight.
It's really a mother's worst fear. There are a few of them. But when you find out that your child has a life-threatening disease, you just become paralyzed.
I was really confused when it first happened, and I didn't really get what was going on. I didn't think it was serious at all. I thought it was just take some medicine for a month and then she'll be better. But then I realized she told me, and my mom and dad told me and stuff.
I was the first one to actually know. She was lying down and she felt a lump in her leg, and she was like, Taya, I have something on my leg, could you come over here? I'm like, okay. And so I looked, and there's a little bump. It was about maybe a little bigger than a grape or something.
In August, after they kind of localized the tumor and figured out where it was, I had it removed. They also took away 2 muscles. So for a while I had trouble balancing and walking a little bit on my right leg. They told me that I'd need chemotherapy. And I wasn't quite sure what that was. I just thought it was, medicine that I'd have for a year. Then my dad asked them to explain more in depth what chemotherapy was. And so they told me that I'd lose my hair, I'm probably gonna get really sick, and they briefly described my protocol, which meant I was gonna be in the hospital for a while, and then I just started to cry because it was all so fast.
And I remember after her surgery and her first chemo, the nurses told her, well, you can go home as long as you walk around the nursing station once without any help. And she tried for hours to get out of her bed. She was so dizzy, and she really, really wanted to come home. And finally, she got up and she was pushing her IV pole, and she took a baby step at a time. And I forget how long it took her to actually get around the nursing station, but it took her a long time. And she sat down and she looked at me and she said, Mommy, I did it. And I said, yes, you did. And then she actually started to cry, and she said, and I'm gonna do it again, Mommy. So you don't have to worry, I'm gonna do it again.
Even though I wasn't a kind of girl that did her hair up every morning, but just being that different from other people and totally stand out from a crowd gave me the shivers. But as it started falling out, I remember it actually quite clearly. I was sitting in the kitchen and I started pulling my hair and it started coming out. And I was laughing my head off. I was like, this is so strange. And I was collecting it all. I had pretty thick hair, so it didn't fall out that quickly. After a couple months without any hair, I didn't really think about what I looked like and what other people thought of. And when I'd go out, I'd just put a bandana on or a hat, and I just go there, I'm me, it's who I am, I'll just deal with it. Right when I was smiling or laughing about anything, I'd totally bring my mind off that I was sick or feeling down, or I was even in the hospital, and I just have fun. It made me feel so much better, and the hours flew by even faster. And I also went to Taekwondo, which helped so much. During when I was in chemotherapy, I actually managed to get a belt. So that was amazing. I was really surprised that I did that.
couldn't believe that she would get up, you know, with her little bald head and her handkerchief in front of everybody and just go through the motions. And it was obvious that this child was sick. I mean, there was like a hush in the room. And after she finished it, people just started to cheer. And I was so impressed, so inspired by her.
There was definitely silver lining in all of it, and we didn't miss it. I think we all saw it. The little guys, Tia and Quentin, saw that as well.
Taya and Quentin would come to visit me at the hospital the first couple times, and it'd be like, oh my gosh, my sister's there sick. This happened so fast. And I could see it on their face sometimes that they didn't know what to say or what to do. And they were totally comfortable about it, and they'd help me around the house when I wasn't feeling that great.
Well, we would comfort her and make sure that she was okay and make sure that she forgot about her treatment.
This was another gift. It brought the whole family together around Kyra as one unit, and I think it transformed us as a family, as a divorced family. You realize that there are more important things in life than riding the antagonistic wave. This is about supporting one another, unconditionally loving, and that we're all in this together. And that was, I think, just a beautiful experience to pull us all together.
When this first hit, it hit us very, very hard, and it's extremely confusing. And we were extremely fortunate that some friends, close friends, I don't know how they had the foresight to do this. They immediately swarmed in, and they were there with tons of love and embraced us. And this happened from a small circle, and that circle became bigger and bigger and bigger. And although we were not always able to communicate with them, the support was so powerfully felt, that it literally felt like we were floating. So there was an energy that came from the community. There were some key moments. One of those was the 24-hour spin, where things became very tough. Halfway through her chemo, things, it was very hard to find the likeness, because she was not recovering from the chemo. So there was many emergency trips for blood transfusions, and there were scary infections. The tests weren't always coming back the way we want, and there was, damage, some permanent damage. And so it was getting tough to be able to see the light in the tunnel, and to have this group and to enter a room where there's these hundreds of people spinning. It was amazing. So it just brought us over another hump. So I just have a huge sense of gratitude.
Definitely a good attitude. That 100% the best thing that you could do. Sure, the chemo worked, but attitude, that's helped so much.
I thought she was really brave, really strong, and I couldn't believe how she got through that.
In many ways, Kyra was my teacher, and in many ways, I was inspired by her.
She's really nice. I love her a lot. I love her really much.
It's okay.
You okay? Don't worry.
Basically, life is very precious, and it's nothing to waste. So after this, I just wanted to do everything. I want to go to Africa. I want to go bungee jumping. I just want to go full on to the extreme. And I've asked my mom a couple times if I can go to New Zealand to go bungee jumping. And as long as I pay for it, it's fine. But I don't know. I want to do everything now, and I think I got a lot out of that.